Welcome to the War on Wellness broadcast. Today we're talking about the science, the spirit, and the stillness of water. And I am actually broadcasting by the ocean. So hopefully, here on this island, you can see and hear me. You can let me know in the comments if you can hear me and if you can hear me well. Thank you so much for joining me. And I'm going to make sure that my Facebook friends and family members are here on this live, and I'll be right back after this intro. Welcome back to the War on Wellness, and today we're talking about water. One, because I'm near it and I'm getting all these restorative benefits, and I want to give those same tips and strategies to you. And guess what? You don't have to actually be near the water in order to absorb, embrace, and experience these qualities of water. So, I'm Penny, also known as Plant-Based Penny, and it is such a relief and a rejuvenation effect to be near water. So put in the comments, when was the last time that you were near a body of water? When was the last time you were near a body of water? So the ocean is one of God's greatest gifts for peace and reflection. And the water has a rhythm. If you notice, if you sit and you watch the ocean waves, it has a rhythm, kind of like mothers rock a baby to sleep. It has a peace, it has a presence, and it restores the mind, the body, and the spirit. So today we're going to talk about the science. We're going to talk about the story, the spiritual principle, along with peace in your space. That's going to be the stillness that you can achieve right where you are. So first, the science of water. Research calls it the blue space. The blue space, anywhere where you can see or hear water. It doesn't have to be blue water, it just needs to be water. So what does it do for you? It lowers your stress and your anxiety. Yes, I can attest to this. It helps you focus, it helps your mood, it helps you sleep. And if you ever notice, if you take a nice hot bath or a shower before you go to bed, people give children baths before they go to bed. It helps people sleep. And it also boosts creativity. You ever heard of the shower idea effect? People get ideas when they take a shower. So it boosts their creativity. So even 20 minutes, 20 minutes to 20 minutes near water can have a calming effect. It helps to lower your heart rate, and it also helps your blood pressure. So these are just natural, holistic ways that you can use water. So why does it work? Well, science is caught up with nature, and it has proven that the brain recognizes the sound of water as safety. We were in the womb and we were packed in water. So it recognizes, their bodies recognize water as a safety. Also, movement and rhythm. I mentioned that earlier. Movement and rhythm, it coincides with the parasympathetic response, which is rest. A lot of people have rocking chairs. or hammocks. That's that movement and that rhythm, which connects with your parasympathetic rest response. So God literally wired our brains for peace and tranquility in the sound of waves and the flow of water. And just for those of you who need the scientific backing, because I know there's some people like you, that's UC Davis, the Blue Health Project. So look it up. That was done in 2021 and under environmental research. So you can look that up. Part two. Part two is the faith connection. And there's a story in the Bible about peace be still, where Jesus calms the waves, and the disciples they were out in a storm, the waves were crashing, the boat was rocking, there was no peace at that time. And Jesus stood up and said, "Peace be still." Instantly, the water calmed. Incidentally, when I first arrived at the beach, there was a storm coming to the East Coast, which is where I am. And however, it did not give us the full force of the effects that it could have given us. And I'm very grateful for that. So I say that God calmed the storm for us as well. And he's still doing it till this day in many different things that go on in life that are called storms of life that are calmed. So the same way that Jesus can calm that storm as he did in the Bible is the same way that he can calm our inner storm. So every ripple of a wave reminds us that peace is possible when our faith is anchored. The third point is that water allows for personal reflection, and this is the stillness portion. So when I lived in a rainforest and I was right by the ocean, I would go to the ocean, just walk over to the ocean, sit down and just bathe in hydrotherapy, ocean therapy, I called it. And in doing that, you breathe, you listen, and you can just hear the voice of God. You can clear your thoughts. You can get inner peace. And the really great thing about it is gives you time for personal reflection as well. And so whether it's God speaking to you, or you're reordering your day, or you're going through and compartmentalizing things in your brain, or you just don't do anything and just let the waves wash over you. So the ocean piece becomes a lesson in that respect. One, I don't have control of everything. And two, I just have to trust the flow. Some things you can't control. The water is going to splash up on you. Issues are going to happen in life. And we have to realize to accept the things that we cannot change and change the things that we can, and have the wisdom to know the difference. The fourth point is to bring the calm home. So you might be saying, well, Plant-Based Penny, I can't go to the beach. I can't go and spend time by, maybe you live inland somewhere. But remember that water, it could be a lake, it could be a pond, it could be the ocean, it could be a large body of water, but it does not have to be. So this is how you can bring that stillness into your personal space. So how can you create your own blue space where you are? Well, I'm glad you asked. I was counseling with a client who had a lot of stress in her life. Yes, we were doing the improving what she was taking in, but like I tell people when I do my speaking engagements, that it's not only what we consume, it's what consumes us. And so that is a piece that really needed to be worked on by this particular client. And after she went through our strategy session, she was able to recreate her work environment and have also a space at home, which was a place of peace. And using the blue therapy, specifically, next time I went to her office, she had a water fountain, a trickling water fountain there. She had burned incense, or she had candles. I can't remember which one she had probably incense is what I would suggest would be safest. Or you can do the you can have the wax melts as well. She had calming pictures of water in her office. She had pillows. It was such a peaceful place. So make your space wherever you are a space of peace. Get a new shower curtain for your bathroom or some nice fluffy rugs. Just make it, paint it a nice, paint your walls the color of ocean waves. Use the screensaver on your computer or on your phone and have that be water, and be take wonderful showers or soaks in bubble baths. I love bubble baths. And breathe and release anew. You can also sip water. Sip water and do it mindfully, not just gulping it, but drinking it mindfully, thinking about each one of the swallows and thanking God for cleansing and for new life. There's so many different applications to water that you can use. I love to use, when I take my bubble baths, I love to use my magnesium flakes in the bath water because it helps the body absorb the magnesium, which cuts down on the joint pains and give the body the minerals so they can absorb all the other important nutrients from our plant forward food. So it's so many things that you can do, so many perfect scenarios, even if you can't get to the water. Now, if you have another suggestion on the calming power of water, let me know what that is. So I want you to remember that there's a science of water. Science proves that you need blue space, and that helps with your tranquility, your pressures that you experience. There's also a faith connection. Remember, God calmed the sea, and anything in your life he can handle as well. And personal reflection is the other piece. When you experience your water, understand that you do not have to control everything. There are times when we cannot, and we have to continue to understand and move on in that peace. Also, you can bring the calm home and the still space where you are. And so water should remind you that it's flow, not force, okay? It's breathe, not break. And also to believe that the peace is already within reach. So I'm Penny, also known as Plant-Based Penny. I help people look, live, and feel well. And if I can help you or your organization, let me know, and I am happy to do so. If you have any questions for me, my website is plantbasedpennylife.com, or you can reach me on my email address, which is life@plantbasedpennylife.com. So look forward to seeing you on Instagram or Facebook or on my new YouTube channel. So feel free to sign up there and subscribe. Thank you so much for joining, and we'll see you next week on Wednesday's War on Wellness.